Hi, welcome to a new reading here on Wood Monkey Tarot. My name is Mila. If you resonate with my energy, welcome. If you're new here, also welcome. Today we're just gonna go in blindly. I don't really have a theme for the reading, but I do have a channeled song immediately before I even started. It's Human Nature by Michael Jackson. So this could have to do with you stepping into a more authentic version of yourself and just allowing yourself to be you regardless of what anyone else says, right? Okay, let's see. What is the theme of this reading? Okay, we have rest and rejuvenation coming out. So there's definitely some exhausted individuals in the collective that are immediately going to feel called out by this, because it's very important for you to take that rest, to meditate. The number 19 can be significant. I'm also just getting a sense of like human nature. It's also like getting closer to your spiritual essence. And when people look at you, they might think that you're a weirdo or that you move in strange ways, but you know that it comes from the divine. You know that it's you just stepping into your most authentic version and embodying your spiritual essence, you know? You could resonate with, like, I'm getting those videos on TikTok where people have like the glasses, the meta glasses, and they go into like grocery stores and then they're like, yeah, I have like a high spiritual, you can tell that I have a high spiritual energy or something like that, because every time they go through like public spaces, they just get stared at by randoms, or they turn around to look at them randomly. Things like that could be significant for you, where you also feel like whatever it is you're doing on a regular day, you don't look crazy or anything, but you just get attention because of your energy. It's giving that, tell them that it's human nature. You know, like the whole idea that Michael Jackson got so much attention just because he stepped into his purpose and because he did what he felt was most right for him, because he danced in his own way, because he sang in his own way. 222 on my timer. Yeah, there's the beginning and the ending of a cycle with 1 and 9 here as well. There's the beginning of something and the ending of something. We have blossoming abundance on the bottom of the deck. I'm telling you, when you're able to fully embody your self, your essence, with your shadow and your light, the only thing that will happen is just a blossoming abundance. Good things will start coming into your life. Let's see. What else do you have for the collective? Okay. We've got quite a lot of cards coming out here. So first card out is the Storm in reverse. So immediately I'm getting like the worst part of it is over. And then we have the Woman holding a heart and the Thinking Woman as well. We have 4-4 and 4-7. And 4-0. So 4s are very, very significant here. I think that there is something happening where you are opening up your third eye chakra. You're opening up your crown chakra. The upper chakras are very significant here. It's like your spirit team wants you to connect more deeply with this aspect of yourself. Now I'm also getting that show Pluto on Netflix. There's like this, I don't know why I'm getting that character, but maybe it's because this guy kind of looks like him with the long blue hair. For those who know, you'll know, then that's like kind of a confirmation that this reading is for you, I suppose. So let's get into this little spread and see what it's trying to tell you. Okay, this is a side channeled message that I'm kind of getting, because with the song Human Nature, I'm just seeing a lot of scenes from the Michael movie. And it's giving like some of you could resonate with really getting judged a lot for your spirituality by family members, or getting judged for your authentic energy by the people around you. You could resonate with just having dealt with a lot of energy leeches, like a lot of people just kind of maybe copycats, you know, people who are trying to destiny swap, or people who are trying to be like you but can't be like you. You know, the Jackson 5 and everything that kind of happened there. Kind of like people who are envying your success, because at the bottom of the deck, before I got that whole spread, there was also deceit on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like for a small part of this collective, they do deal with people who are fake friends. Like, there are people around you who are only with you because they can see that your success is blossoming, that you are blossoming, and that as long as they stay around you, they can kind of hop on your train and, you know, get whatever rewards it is you're getting. But that's just a side note for some people, so use your discernment. So the bigger message that I'm getting with this spread, we have rest and rejuvenation and blossoming abundance on the left side, and then we have the storm like upside down in the middle. And then on the other side of this, we have these 3 cards, right? So what is that telling me? It's already giving me a message of the storm warning upside down means that the worst part of it is over. It means that it's time for reassessment. It's time to kind of look at all the rubble the tornado has caused. Like, everything might be kind of like a mess. Everything might have been like put up in the air and then pushed back down, and now you're like, okay, what am I gonna do with all this? You might have had like big spiritual upgrades or awakenings, which have led you to a long period of just tower moments, is kind of what I'm getting, you know. And now these tower moments are kind of over. You know, you've had your period of transformation, and it's just kind of saying that, okay, that's great. Just notice all the abundance around you, connect to a state of gratitude, connect to that higher frequency so that you can heal the energy within you, so that you don't kind of fall into negative patterns again, because so much has been jumbled, and like I'm seeing like a box with trinkets just kind of being like shaken right now. So there's definitely something here about your whole world kind of having been flipped upside down. And your guides, your angels, are basically asking you to reassess and say, where do you want to go next from here? So take 717 on my timer as I look at it. So there's definitely spiritual alignment happening. They want you to know that you are in spiritual alignment. And the only thing you really have to do is, the thinking woman, where do you want to go next? What, like, maybe journal about some goals you have in mind for the next couple of years even, or just the next couple of weeks. It's whatever you feel like you resonate with, right? Like, setting intentions is very important, because on a spiritual level, you're ready to connect with a higher frequency of love. It's like, if you balance out the way you think and the things you want with what your heart needs and what your soul kind of craves right now, if you balance these 2 aspects out, what can you get? What kind of higher perspective does that give you? So that is kind of the energy that I'm getting from all of this. And there's also just something about being very loved by the divine. You know, 4/4 is about guardian angels. It's about spirit guides. And I'm using my energy oracle deck, which also always gives me, immediately when I work with this deck, it feels like I'm talking to angels. So that could be very significant for you, because I mean, we do have Metatron out here, obviously. So you could resonate with working with Metatron, or just resonate with working with archangels in general. Now I want to get into some of my character cards here and see what your current energy is and what kind of energy you should be embodying. I also would like to mention that both of these cards do talk about a possible female friend or teacher or confidant who is here to help you, specifically give you a bigger perspective, a greater understanding of something. Or it could just be a reflection of yourself and how you can give yourself that greater understanding, how you're a very wise, observant, calm individual who has good self-esteem, knows how to show up for themselves, etc. You know how to kind of reflect the love you deserve to yourself, which is a very commendable trait to have. Now let's see what kind of energy you're currently in. What is the energy of this collective, Spirit? Boom. We have Jobu Tupaki coming out again. So there's again an energy of this very fierce female protagonist that has complete control over her reality. You could resonate with the recent TikTok video I posted today as well, because this card is coming out for that again. So there is something about you being very detached and unbound by anything. Let's see, Spirit. You could have prominent Pisces placements as well. Like you could just be very mystical and spiritual in general. And also there's just an inevitable transformation happening within this collective. And I think that's also why your angels are just coming forward to really say, all you can do right now is rest, get your soul and like spiritual energy aligned, because the abundance is coming in whether you like it or not. The abundance in whatever way that is. It could be opportunities flying your way, money flying your way, people flying your way, whatever it is. 1111 on my timer. It is going to happen, right? Pluto energy, inevitable transformation, right here on this card. You could, I mean, I do recommend watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, because it is a very kind of, it's a great film and I think everybody should have seen it. But maybe again, like your grand perspective and everything you know makes you feel a little apathetic or overwhelmed or even empty sometimes, right? So that's also something that Spirit is saying. It's like, make sure you keep grounding yourself, especially Pisces energy. If you have a lot of Piscean energy in your chart, you've got to make sure to ground yourself. Let's see. Wanda Maximoff. I'm telling you, we've got some powerful witches in the collective. Powerful witches in the collective. This is again like definitely a strong feminine energy presence. And with Wanda coming through, I just feel like you can get consumed by your pain, maybe even. Like both of these characters kind of get consumed by the pain they've had to endure. And I think Spirit is just really asking you to process. I think they're really saying that there's a sense of constant destruction and rebirth that might have happened in your life. You could also have had prominent Scorpio placements, right? Where it's like you're kind of learning to embrace that inner darkness, and it's leading you to this great understanding of yourself, this kind of compassion that you're learning to show yourself as well. You're very deeply feeling, and Scorpios have, it's like the most intense feeling sign of the zodiac, in my opinion. So yeah, this definitely has to do with a big shadow period that you've had to be in or have dealt with as of recent. Okay, let's see. What is the energy this collective should be stepping into? What is the energy the collective should be embracing right now? Let's see. What's the energy they should be embracing? Okay, that's way too many cards. Just one card, Spirit. Okay. Again, this is a very, very similar energy to the reading I did today, but we have Pluto energy out here again. So check out your Pluto placement, please, and let me know in the comments so we can talk about it. We have Andrew Neiman coming out. You're very devoted. There is something you are very devoted to, and you'll know what that thing is. But they want you to stay dedicated. They want you to stay focused on your goals without getting consumed by it. I think it's very important that you don't get consumed, because both of these cards have consumed on it. So don't let whatever goal you have or whatever long-term vision you have, don't let it consume you, but stay driven and dedicated to getting where you want to go. At the same time, I think it's just a big message of needing to accept the storms you've had to endure, right? There's something here about you really going into a phase of, so as I was saying, I'm sorry, I had to pause for a second. Something about you really having endured. You have endured. That's why this card is coming out to say the worst of it is over. The battles you've endured are over now. But it's definitely molded you into this very powerful, devoted, kind of detached persona who's just very tough, honestly. Very tough characters. Now, I want to see what the advice is through some tarot. You know, it's kind of like the Pisces, the Scorpio, and the Capricorn all bring different aspects to this kind of Pluto energy that's happening within you. And I think that Pisces is mainly about the more emotional aspect to it because it is a water sign. It's about kind of releasing certain illusions or things you've claimed as your reality that don't really serve you anymore. Or even, you know, this egoic control that Jobu Tupaki does have over the reality of not just herself, but also others. And then Scorpio Pluto is probably the most significant one. It's all about death and rebirth. It's about shadow work. It's about working through your trauma, you know? And then Capricorn in Pluto is a more, you know, how can you use your pain to become more disciplined, to create a better future, to mold the foundation. So I think all of that is something you have been experiencing on a certain level. Okay, first I want to see what the lesson is, just so that we can have a confirmation on kind of all this big, powerful, transformational energy. 1711 on my timer. And I noticed 17 earlier on as well, so that 1717 on my timer. So these numbers are very significant. To some of you can be big confirmation. Let's see, what is the lesson for the collective? Push it out, please, Spirit. What is the lesson for the collective? Okay, boom. Let's see. We have the Knight of Swords. Is this upright or reverse? That's a reversed. Okay, so it's about not rushing or being too hard on yourself, being overly disciplined, right? That's that Andrew Neiman energy of like, I gotta drum, I gotta go until trigger warning, he starts literally bleeding. Like he's drumming until he bleeds. Like the movie is called Whiplash, by the way, if you're interested. So there's something about not being overly strict or overly disciplined to the point where you're basically, trigger warning, like harming yourself or getting yourself to a burnout or just making yourself feel very emotionally unfulfilled, right? And then we have the Hangman in reverse and the Three of Wands. So immediately what I hear with that is, don't think you are not in control of your future. It's like, you're not actively envisioning what you want your future to look like, and you're not, like, I'm not saying you're not doing that, but they're saying focus more on, like, this woman looks like, to me, it's kind of a meditation pose, right? With the hands like that. It's giving me she's meditating on something. So, okay, actually, keys can be significant. Hecate can be close. It's the threshold. It's how you move forward. It's the goddess of the mother, the maiden, the crone. It is divine femininity. You know, Hecate is coming through with Wanda as well. There's this like dark magic that's kind of coming through. You know, dark feminine goddesses could be significant for you, or just like your Lilith placement could also be significant. Kind of learning to utilize your dark feminine energy. That's kind of the message I'm getting from that. But coming back to the cards, like, you can mold and meditate on what you want your future to look like a lot more. You have significant power. You can form your whole reality, right? Wanda, she literally creates a dome where she has her whole own reality created from scratch. That is the kind of power that you hold. And it's like giving me again, like the same that I got in the reading today on my TikTok. You can alchemize your trauma, your pain into power. You can do that. And I think that's kind of the lesson for you here, is that you don't have to do it from this rigorous disciplinary point. You don't have to do it like a Capricorn, like I gotta, well, that's more Virgo. It's like I gotta prove myself in a sense. Well, it's earth sign energy in general. So they're saying like trust your gifts a bit more. Yeah. There's also just something here about you really kind of resisting the natural path of things. It's like you're resisting the flow. It's like you're kind of ignoring this very necessary pause. It's like you want to keep going, but they really want you to pause, because maybe you also have a tendency to fall into kind of a victim mindset where it's like nothing is going right for me. I'm trying so hard. How can I, like, why are all these things happening to me? And it's basically because you're not resting, because you're not allowing spirit, the divine, your angels to do their part, because they want you to just sit back, relax, and think about what you want your future to look like, right? They want you to move from a place of wisdom and love. Move from a place of wisdom and love. Okay, now I want to get you some last messages, some last spiritual advice with the tarot, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. So let's see. What is the final, most important spiritual advice for this collective? Oh shit, that went so wrong. Okay, but we have judgment falling on the floor here. So it's giving call to action. It's giving listen to this message. It's giving we've said what we needed to say. Now it's time for you to actually do this. And it's time for you to actually accept that your life is blossoming and that you don't have to overwork yourself for it. It's time for you to just look upon the horizon and expect everything to go right for you. That's the message that I'm getting from this. It's like, make sure you do an honest self-evaluation. It's kind of giving, look at yourself, look at how far you've actually come, look at your own destructive patterns that you've been kind of, how have you been consumed? What is consuming you? And how can you evaluate that and be honest with yourself and see that this needs to change? See that you have to change and that you have to start kind of submitting to a higher purpose here, which is essentially becoming more aligned with your higher self. And your higher self is not a better version of yourself. It's actually coming closer to who you are authentically, which is embracing all your shadow and all your darkness and showing up regardless and loving those parts of yourself regardless. So actually I want to use a different deck to give you your final messages. Okay, final messages. What do you want to say to this collective? Maybe some confirmations. Let's see. Okay, we have garlic coming out. Your no is a sacred form of protection, right? It's kind of saying you have confused being unreachable with safety. Yeah, so there might also be an energy of you really overprotecting yourself. Maybe you're kind of a lone wolf, right? Because Andrew Neiman, he also doesn't really have any friends. He's just obsessed with his goal, right? Wanda, she's also very alone. Jobu Tupaki is also very alone. So maybe you are kind of you need to stop isolating yourself in a way, because that doesn't mean necessarily safety. It just means that you're unreachable, right? A boundary should have a gate, not only a wall. So it's kind of saying that maybe you have created such high walls around yourself because of everything that you've been through, that you're kind of not allowing the door to open to new possibilities, to new healing, to new opportunities, you know. I think that's very important, to purify and kind of let yourself be open to the world around you again. Let's see, one more card, two more cards maybe. Oh, Berkano and Turmeric has been coming out a lot. Berkano has been coming out in all my recent readings. The collective is definitely going into a big new beginning, and it's asking you what part of your life is asking for more compassion. So that's something that's very like prominent in your energy. You're very unforgiving towards yourself. So your guides are really just asking you to nurture yourself, to be more compassionate, and to allow this new beginning to happen. And you can only really do that by loving yourself and being more open to new possibilities, and changing your perspective. We have turmeric. You cannot remain unchanged what you repeatedly expose yourself to. So if you're also constantly getting yourself back into those thinking patterns of like, okay, I gotta do this alone, I gotta be on my own, nobody is supporting me, I have no friends, or whatever it is, whatever negative beliefs you keep kind of entertaining, know that you can't change the situation if you keep thinking that way. And also, but even stronger is what I'm getting is that really the universe just wants to bless you. They want to bless you. They want to give you the abundance. They want you to see how beautiful your life is and can be by just aligning with more grateful thoughts and being like, oh, I have this today, and oh, I got a nice meal there, and I had a great shower, or something like this. Because that will open the gate, that will help you align to a frequency of more abundance and more gratitude and more gifts, right? So they're saying, let the right things leave their color on you. So it's like, make sure you keep using positive affirmations, and in that way you open the gate for the universe to bless you. That's a confirmation. I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Thank you so much for being here. If you watched the reading till the end, make sure you put, I don't know if we have like a garlic, you could put like a garlic or a monkey in the comments. So thank you for being here. I always love to know who stays till the end. So yeah, and please let me know what your Pluto placement is, because, or like the house it's in, because Pluto energy. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. That is still the best way you can support me at this time, by engaging with the content. If you want to book a personal, if you want to book a personal, you can do it in the link in my description, or you can DM me on TikTok. It's up to you. I'll see you in the next reading.